You said earlier that the impeachment trial can spill over to the next Senate in case this batch of senators doesn't finish it. In case, that is of course under the assumption that the House would impeach Sara and that the articles of impeachment will be transmitted to the Senate. And you said that this has happened at least in the United States.
Yes.
What's the precedent?
Okay, reading the body language of our senators, reading between the lines, the statements of our Senate President. Senate President Escudero said, do we have time for this? Because he is assuming that the 20th Congress, the Senate of the 20th Congress, cannot act on an impeachment complaint filed in the previous or the present 90th Congress. We beg to disagree with that, all right? Because if we look at the Constitution, right, there's only one temporal or time limitation when it comes to impeachment, and that is the rule that there can be no impeachment complaint initiated within a one-year period from the last impeachment initiation of the impeachment complaint. That is the only time limitation imposed in the Constitution. So as to whether or not the 20th Senate can act on the impeachments filed by the 19th House of Representatives, there is no constitutional prohibition to that, all right? And we believe if it's not prohibited, then it can be done. Now, if we don't have a specific rule or constitutional provision here in the Philippines, usually what we do, Dwight, is we look to the United States, okay? And then we check, because our rules, our law on impeachment, the rules on impeachment that we have are lifted faithfully from the U.S. Constitution. And, you know, I think this is the time that the public has to be informed. It has been the practice of the United States of America, to try for the Senate of the U.S. to try an impeached official, okay, of the previous Congress. Okay, the classic example we have, Dwight, is what happened to U.S. President Bill Clinton. U.S. President Bill Clinton was impeached by the 105 Congress, by the House, and he was tried by the 106th Senate.
Okay, so this was after their midterms, or is that?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So if we were to ask, do we have precedent? Do we have actual case where a previous Congress is not able to hold trial, to try an impeachable officer, and for the incoming Congress to take the mantle of trying the impeached officer? Yes, we have. It happened in the United States 4 times. And we also found a work of Thomas Jefferson, a forefather of the United States of America. You know, in one of his books, in one of his writings, in one of his authoritative writing, he said, impeachment is not adjourned together with adjournment of Congress. So we have practice in the United States. We have 4 actual impeachments traversing 2 Congresses, and the United States Supreme Court did not bother to strike them down, because exactly they are legal. They're legal. And we have Thomas Jefferson saying that it can be done. So for me, the uncertainty, we do understand that. The confusion, we do understand that. But if we look at precedent, here we have. And if we look at for inspiration or persuasive effects of what the practice has been in the United States, it can be done. It's very doable. It's practicable, Dwight.
Attorney, you just to get a better gauge of your argument, you said that there's no time limitations in the Constitution when it comes to Congress. But di ba sir yung mga bills? Like for example, when a bill does not get passed in the current Congress, it will have to be refiled in the next Congress. Right. Isn't it, in a way, the bill expires and that the Congress sort of recognizes a changing of guard?
Yes. You know, that's the source of the confusion, right? That's the source of the confusion, because it's a misconception that impeachment is like a bill. And that if a bill is not passed in one Congress, it has to be taken anew by the subsequent Congress. Okay, but then again, remember when we dichotomized earlier. On one hand, we have the legislative functions of Congress, and on the other hand, we have the non-legislative functions. Okay, passing a bill is a legislative function of Congress, and that goes with it adjournments, as Congress expiring or ending. But when it comes to the non-legislative functions, which include impeachment, impeachment is not affected by any adjournment of the Senate and or the House, for that matter, Dwight.